everyone, my name is Mandilynn. I'm the author of the young adult novel Essence and historical fantasy novel I Am Mercy. And 2015 is coming to a close, so it's time to talk about my favorite books of 2015. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that the books were published in 2015. It means that I read the books in 2015, and I'm pretty sure that none of them were published in 2015 because I have a lacking ability to keep up with books being published freshly, and I just get to them when I get to them. So in no particular order, let's begin. So first up, I have Writing the 21st Century Fiction, High Impact Techniques for Exceptional Storytelling by Donald Mass. Now, Donald Mass is a huge literary agent in terms of like how awesome he is, but this is basically how to write a great novel, and it's non-fiction obviously, and I have so many notes in here it's not even funny, but if you want to write good books, this is the book to read. Next up, we have Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Now, this is a book, no matter how big it is, I read it in one day. It's a psychological thriller, the best one I've probably ever read. It's basically a murder mystery, but it's not, and it's really cool. And I have no way of describing it, but the movie is also good, but not nearly as good as the book. But huge recommendation right here. I have never been glued to a book so much in such a long time as this one. Next up, I have Panic by Lauren Oliver, and yes, it is signed Scribbles. But this one is about, I think it's senior year, this high school has this game called Panic where you have to go through all these games, and they're not exactly the safest games, but I kind of forget how to describe it well, but it's a really good book. I love Lauren Oliver. I haven't read a book I haven't liked, so a recommendation. And I also have Afterworlds by Scott Westerfield. He's also the author of the Ugly series, and once again, it's also signed, more Scribbles. But this is a cool book because it is about a girl who is a teenager who gets her manuscript published, so it's not only about her adjusting to this New York life. Every other chapter is actually a chapter from her book. That's why it's like black, white, because one is her real life and the other one is a book. And it's really cool. It's hard to describe. It kind of got me aggravated because I wish I was the one that got the contract to publish my manuscript, but I'm not. So I was kind of jealous and like aggravated by the book at the same time, but it's a really good book, I promise. And Love, Rosie by Cecilia Ahern. This is basically all either letters, text messages, or emails about these two, I guess if you could call it star-crossed lovers. But they've been friends with each other since they were really little, and both of them end up getting married and all that, and then they end up getting divorced, and then they end up like getting back together and reconnecting with each other. But like throughout all this time, throughout all their awful marriages and stuff, they keep in touch, even though one's in like the United States, the other one's still in the UK or Ireland or wherever it ends up being. But it's a really good book. I was completely glued to it, and the movie is also very wonderful. And then we have I'll Give You the Sun and The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. These are both wonderful books. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I liked this one more. I was underlining everywhere, and this girl's sister dies, and it's not a sad book. It's kind of taken, like, it's just not, I don't really know how to describe it. And this one, I can't really remember what it was about. It was also very good. Just take my word for it. She has wonderful writing. Just read her books. I don't know if she has another book out yet, but if she does, I'm going to be buying it very soon. And last but certainly not least, we have None of the Above by I.W. Guaguaro. This one I think was easily my favorite just because it was so different than anything I've ever read before. This is about a girl who has a boyfriend, and through the fact that she tries to have sex, learns that she's not in fact a girl, she's a hermaphrodite. And then the school finds out, and as you can imagine, that can end badly. This is a wonderful, wonderful book, and I recommend it to a lot of people. It really opens up your eyes to like the whole sociological way of thinking, but if you're a college student and you've taken a sociology course, this is probably a very good book to read. Anyways, that was my 8 favorite books of 2015. I feel like I didn't get to quite read as many like books as I wanted to, but let me know your favorite books of 2015 down below in the comments, and as always, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for watching.